maker, and they're going to have to flow through him if they're going to beat the Pittsburgh Riverhounds tonight.
It's the Riverhounds and the Rhinos, and it's all coming up next right here on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. delay is over. Rhinos soccer is about to begin here on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. I'm Joe Giuliano, along with Mike Kerms. The award ceremony concluded, and the Rhinos and the Riverhounds originally scheduled to kick off at 7 p.m. We'll get you underway at about 8:32. Thanks for being patient and holding on, as it's the last regular season game of 2011 for the Rochester Rhinos. Let's talk about tonight's officials. Man in the middle will be Jason Pelletier. The referee's assistants are Andrew Evangelos and Demokratis Pasholidis. And the fourth official is Bill Engel. The Rhinos, 11-8-4, 37 points. They are the champions of the National Division. The Riverhounds are 7-10-6 with 27 points. They are in fourth place in the National Division. Kind of ironic. These two teams will once again play on Friday night at 7:30 right here at Salin Stadium in the National Division semifinals. So Rochester, Pittsburgh will do it right again on Friday night. But before that, one more regular season game to get in the books. Mike Kerms, welcome to the broadcast. We'll get the starters for you in a second. But tonight, Rochester may be looking to find their form after dropping the last two.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to let me speak. When you welcome me, usually you let me speak.
Well, you got to set the scene, my friend. Starting lineups tonight. First for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, it'll be Hunter Gilstrap. The back four, Nico Kadich, Sterling Flunder, Louis Rolko, and Ben Horner. The midfielders, Tommy Gray, Matt Tuttle, Neil Schaefer, Shintaro Harada. Up top, it's Fondi and Dayton. For the Rhinos, it'll be Kitson in goal. The back will have Bellamy, Costanzo, Roberts, and Kirk. In the midfield, Drew Cost, Alfonso Montegalvan, the team MVP, Tyler Rosenlin, Tony Donatelli, J.C. Banks. And up top, Isaac Kissy. 93-minute weather delay, and we're finally in action at Salin Stadium. There's Donatelli. He's pushed down that far side, broken up by the Riverhounds, as they have got the all blue jerseys tonight. Rochester, the black and white striped tops, black shorts and black socks this evening. The Rhinos attacking the goal to our right. And Mike, how do you approach a game like this? You're going to see the same team in less than a week. What's the strategy tonight?
Well, both teams are coming out with starting lineups that are going to be starting in the playoffs, and this is a preparation match for next week. And Pittsburgh wants to show their stuff. They've lost twice to the Rhinos this year, and Justin Evans said, "I want to win against these guys. We got to prove to ourselves, and we got to prove to the Rhinos that we could beat them. When we go into the playoffs next week, we want them to think that we're gonna beat them." And he's putting his best 11 out there for the night.
Well, Mike, if the previous two meetings are any indication, 3-0 and 3-0, Rochester on the victorious end in the first two meetings.
Well, the results of 3-0, 3-0, Bob Lilly said, they're not indicative of the way that the match was. And it happened to be 3-0, and Pittsburgh gave up those 6 goals, but the game was much tighter than that on the pitch.
You mean 3-0 is not indicative of what happened last week against Charlotte?
Well, same
there you go,
thing.
right?
Charlotte, the Rhinos had 14 corner kicks, the most corner kicks that they've had all season, and they also gave up the most goals that they've given up all season. And that's very unusual. Usually you see a team that wins in corner kicks, most of the time wins the match.
Yeah, perfect example of what you were saying about 3-0 not being indicative of the flow of the game, as the Rhinos will pick up a throw-in. Tonight's TV game being produced by John Catalano, radio by Mike Moran. I should say TV and USL Live. Pressured by J.C. Banks now, as he is the Rhinos Rookie of the Year. There's Cost for Donatelli.
Yeah, Coach Justin Evans is putting his best 11 out there, and you see that Coach Lilly's putting his best 11 there. The 5 guys that just won awards for the Rhinos for the season, they're all on the pitch tonight. They're not resting them and getting them ready for next week. They're getting them ready by putting them on the field.
Just recapping some of the awards. Troy Roberts, the Defender of the Year. Kendall Jagdiosing, who did not start but he's on the bench, was the Offensive Player of the Year. Costanzo gets the Coach's Award. Bellamy gets the Community Service Award. MVP goes to Tyler Rosenlund. Maybe his numbers don't jump out at you, but I like the one comment in the script about his work ethic off the ball. It's a nice crowd. Has really stuck around for the final home game of 2011. This is Flunder on the far side. Now a long ball forward, and Dayton is offsides. As Kitson will pick this one up. The Rhinos coming off a 3-0 loss against Charlotte, a 2-1 loss at New York. And momentum and some positive outcomes would be just what the doctor ordered for the Rhinos heading into the playoffs. Again, Rochester, the National Division champions, will host on Friday night. As we had several lightning strikes before the game, leading to that 93-minute delay. And Mike, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I look out past the stands across the field, and you see a couple more flashes in the sky.
I don't see anything.
That's right. Stay positive. There's Rosenlund to J.C. Banks. A low service, intercepted by Flunder and cleared now up the near side. It's a throw-in for the Rhinos, Troy Roberts. We're in the 5th minute. Rochester and Pittsburgh are scoreless on a steamy, muggy night in downtown Rochester.
Now, the one team on the field right now that's playing for something is the Rhinos, because although they're winning the division, when it comes to playoff time, as Puerto Rico was one of the last place teams last year, it was important for the other teams to get more points in order to get home field advantage. The Rhinos need 3 points here in order to beat Richmond in the other division to get home field advantage if Richmond ends up to be in the finals against the Rhinos. So Puerto Rico last year, last place, they're the ones who ended up winning the league. Richmond, a very strong team. I see Richmond possibly beating Wilmington.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Possibly beating Orlando City. And then the Rhinos will have home field advantage if they win tonight.
Orlando definitely in the driver's seat with 51 points. They're the regular season champions overall. And should they advance to the championship game, it'll be at the Citrus Bowl. Drew Cost maybe should have taken that one forward himself, as there was a huge pocket in front of the Rhinos midfielder.
And Flunder's a guy who's broken up a couple plays now for Pittsburgh.
The Riverhounds coming off a 2-2 draw against Charlotte last Saturday. Probably not the result they wanted after Charlotte played here on Friday. Bust overnight to Pittsburgh, and for the Charlotte Eagles, it was a great weekend, which was all for naught as they fell last night 4-3 to the Charleston Battery after trailing 3-0 at one point.
Charlotte put a very good run on at the end of the season there, and with that win and tie against the Rhinos in Pittsburgh, it was really for them to get that 4th spot, and they unfortunately Charleston came out on top. It's tough to get back into a game when you're down 3-0.
2 quick goals for the Battery last night, and it was not the Charlotte team, Mike, that we saw last Friday, as we were pretty impressed with their possession, their movement of the ball.
And I was talking with Justin Evans before the game. He said he really likes that Martins, the guy who plays right in the center of the pitch, plays just like a reminder of Rene Rivas. And, of course, Herrera was our player of the key on last week, and he was also dangerous against Pittsburgh just as he was dangerous against the Rhinos.
So for Charlotte, Mike, their playoff hopes are over. In the American division, it'll be Charleston at Orlando. Wilmington takes on Richmond. Not sure yet who's hosting that game. The National Division, Pittsburgh, of course, is at Rochester, and the LA Blues will be at Harrisburg all next weekend.
Well, Richmond has one more match, and they play the LA Blues tomorrow night, and that's gonna determine who if Richmond or Wilmington are in the driver's seat, get home field advantage, and also if Richmond wins, it puts the Rhinos behind Richmond for that home field advantage in case both teams are in the playoffs, in the finals.
So, Mike, the USL Pro going with 8 teams advancing to the playoffs, and now it's a single-game format. They've switched. Last year in the NASL, it was a home-and-home total aggregate What are your thoughts on the one and done?
I'm not a fan. I like the home and away series, and both teams need to get a shot, or you play a 3-game series where the team with the higher seed gets 2 games at home.
This year, it's anyone's ball game, as we've seen it so many times before in soccer, that a 1-game playoff can lead to a lot of shockers, hopefully. Not the case for Rochester, as we're in the 9th minute.
You have that home and away series. You got 180 minutes. You always have that opportunity. That 1-game series, you play Charlotte at home, you lose 3-0. You got to go out there and you got to get 3 goals back right away. Makes it a little bit more exciting.
Last night was definitely a playoff atmosphere down in Charleston, and the Battery were just a bit more ready for it. As we're now in the 10th minute and scoreless. Riverhounds at the Rhinos 18. Montegalvan will just clear it up on the near side, looking for Kissy. Headed back there to Kadich. His high clearance only reaches midfield. Flunder, a fancy little back heel that he whiffs on. And the Rhinos will take possession on the far side. There's Cost, he's taken down. Referee says play on. Chance now for the Riverhounds to counter. There's Tommy Gray crossing midfield. Plays it on the far side. Tuttle drives one to the top of the 18. Fondy gets stuck there nicely by the Rhinos defender of the year, Troy Roberts. There's Donatelli. Pushes it forward for Rosalind. Corner of the 18, a right-footed shot and a diving save by Hunter Gilstrap.
A good ball by Donatelli and a good strike by Rosalind. One thing that we saw last time at home against Charlotte, the Rhinos kept knocking the ball around, hitting long balls. You didn't see enough shots by the Rhinos, and this is a good strike by Tyler Rosalind here, and a great save by Gilstrap.
And that's a great point. I had a chance to watch the replay of that Charlotte game, and I think we mentioned that 5 or 6 times, that maybe one too many passes inside the 18 that time. Well taken. Corner kick by Montegalvan.
They need to pull the trigger more, and they also have to execute their corners better. And they had 14 corners last time, and they weren't well taken.
Kissy off the thigh and then the hand, and would have been a tough one to get the thigh, then the volley.
And right there, you see it again.
One-time snap.
Montegalvan had the corner kick there. It's not a well-placed corner kick. They need to execute their corners much better.
11th minute and scoreless at Salem Stadium. 3rd and final meeting of the regular season for Rochester and Pittsburgh. Gilstrap gets the restart. Good ups there for J.C. Banks. Now played back, Kadich for Horner. And his touch is off the boot and over the near sideline. Mike, here's a look at that last chance by Kissy. Ball was floated into the box and flicked on by Roberts. And what do you think, a one-time maybe there instead of that little touch?
Well, I think he needs to it's tough. That's a last-second decision there, and Roberts flicked it to him. You bring that across your body for your left peg, and you bring it down, and that's where I think the opportunity would have been for Kissy. And Kissy's an important player going into the playoffs right now. He's only played, this is his 9th game of the season, but he's had some injuries, and now he's back into it. They've got him starting up top. Jagdeo Singh being the offensive player of the year. You've got Jagdeo Singh coming off the bench. Let's see what Kissy can do, and that's why he's out there. He needs to score goals, and if he's going to be the impact player for the playoffs. Who is that impact player for the playoffs this year? The Rhinos, their distribution of goals, there's not one player that's really making the impact on the field for the Rhinos.
Throw in back to Cost. Montegalvan leaves it for Costanzo. Back to Montegalvan. A little short passing here for the Rhinos. As the Rhinos looking to divorce themselves from those last 2 losses. There's Roberts. Good one touch by Rosalind to Costanzo. On the near side. Now Montegalvan will try the middle of the park. This is good passing from the Rhinos. Rosalind into the 18 for Kissy. Off the chest a little too hard and into the arms of Gilstrap.
Very nice combination play by the Rhinos, and Rosalind even had Kirk overlapping on that outside wing with a little bit more patience. Maybe knocks it out to that outside wing, get it back out, then knock it in. Let a few more guys get into the box, crash into goal.
This is a good build-up from the Rhinos.
And it's nice to see them playing the game. A lot of combination play out there versus where we've seen recently them playing long ball soccer, hitting that long ball, being impatient, and just trying to get it up to the front runners right away. Right now they're knocking the ball in that 4-4-2 system, and they're playing against a 4-2-3-1. They've got Dayton up top, who's been the most dangerous player during this stretch for Pittsburgh. They're 5-1-3 in the last 9 games, and Dayton's got 6 goals there.
I think you mentioned in the pregame that only loss came right here to the Rhinos. Banks just outside the 18. Takes a right-footed shot, goes for the near post, and Gilstrap is there to make the save. Hunter Gilstrap, 28 years old. The 2010 USL 2 Goalkeeper of the Year. He's played 22 games this season. This will be his 23rd appearance.
And he's seen a lot of shots. He's got 91 saves on the year. He's got the most saves in the league. So he's seen a lot of action this year. And he's given up, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds have given up over 1.3 goals a game this year. They've got to be better than that going into the playoffs.
Pittsburgh, 31 goals against, 23 goals for. Really, Mike, a very dismal away record, 1-8-2. You end up on the road and you begin the playoffs on the road, and just hasn't been a good stretch of road games for the Riverhounds.
Yeah, the only team that has a worse record on the road is the Dayton Dutch Lions at 0-9-3. 1-8-2, that's tough. That doesn't give you a lot of confidence when you go on the road, particularly when you're right back here next week.
And Mike, that Dayton team, we saw them last year in the Open Cup. We saw them in the league a couple times this year. Just a hard team to figure out. Not sure what the concept or how that total Dutch football system is going to fly in American second division soccer. They have struggled.
Well, they're trying to. I think they're still in rebuilding. They're rebuilding years. I mean, this is the second year of the club, and they're still trying to build something there. It's FC New York had FC New York's first season this year. They were better than Dayton Dutch Lions. So we'll see next year what they come back with.
Should be interesting. Again, they have that very heavily Dutch influenced theme, as they've got a affiliation with FC Twente in Holland. 17th minute, Rochester and Pittsburgh are scoreless as we close out the 2011 regular season. Good intention from Rosalind, just couldn't pull it off as he gets the ball again, middle of the field. Donatelli's got Kirk overlapping on the far side, cuts it inside instead. This is deflected by Dayton. Looking for Fondy up top. He's got Dayton supporting him. Kirk will knock it down the pitch. There's the Canadian Tyler Rosalind. Montegalvan. Good touches here and good movement off the ball by Costanzo and the Rhinos. There's Kissy. Kadich all over his back, so he lays it off. That was going to be a tight one there from Alfonso Montegalvan, the 24-year-old.
You know, Kadich is going to be tough. He's got that Croatian in him. Just gets stuck in, and he's just going to stay right on. He's going to stay right on Kissy all night and just keep kicking him.
Kissy, Jagdio Singh, they have taken a lot of knocks this year as that man at the point. Kadich interfered by Kissy and taken away nicely. And then stepping in, making a nice defensive play was Ben Horner. So another corner kick, this time from the near side. And Mike, we'll see how Rochester does with this one. Montegalvan's first offering, very low. Not very dangerous at all.
Well, last week they had J.C. Banks taking all the corner kicks, and Montegalvan being back in the lineup after being out a few games. He's the man on point at the corner here.
Near side corner. Flicked into the 18. Cost, one-time shot right down the middle. Gilstrap there to make the save.
Cost did well with that. Rather than just trying to kill it, he just wanted to put it on frame and see what happened with it. Unfortunately for Cost, it didn't go to the left corner or right corner. It went right to Gilstrap's paws.
This one sent down the pitch, Costanzo. And Rosenlund tries to flick it onto Kissy. He would have been offsides anyways. So we'll continue to play here as Gilstrap has it. Sends one into the Rhinos' half of the field. Schaefer stripped middle of the park by Montegalvan, and Kissy's not going to get there.
And that's an example. That's an example of forcing it. Montegalvan, you just want it. You got 2 guys against 4. Keep the ball.
No one there for the Rhinos on the near side. So we are in the 20th minute. Rochester and Pittsburgh in a lightning delayed at 7 o'clock that lasted until about 8:33. And we are underway in half number 1 and scoreless. If you're just tuning in, Joe Giuliano with Mike Kerms. Rhinos wrapping up the regular season as National Division champions. Tuttle looking for the overlapping run of Flunder, and he'll be called for the foul on Cuevas Kirk. The Rhinos will come up with a free kick. So don't forget, for tickets, 454-KICK or Ticketmaster.com for the Rhinos in the National Division semifinals. That is on Friday at 7:30 right here at Salem Stadium. 454-KICK or Ticketmaster.com for your ticket information. Flunder up in the air, sends it forward now. Dayton with it. On the near side for Tommy Gray, who scored a goal in that 2-2 draw against Charlotte. Dispossessed in the middle of the field. And Drew Cost puts it in front for Costanzo now. Costanzo overlapping on the near side. Montegalvan. Back to midfield for Roberts. I was going to knock this one around the horn here. Far side, Cuevas Kirk. Now we'll try the near side again with Costanzo. One-on-one with Horner. He gets a left-footed cross away, and it's off the Pittsburgh defender. Possession back to Rochester. Ben Horner, 22 years old, from Butler, Pennsylvania. Played at Duquesne University. So he's playing his professional soccer right at home with the Riverhounds as J.C. Banks has a long throw-in opportunity here on the near side. We're in the 22nd minute. Banks with the approach. Lips it into the box. Kissy with the flick. Gilstrap is blocked by his own defender, and Flunder clears it away. A little confusion there in the box, but the Riverhounds able to dodge the bullet. Banks with a heavy cross up and through the crowd.
Well, you can see that the Rhinos' strongest free kick situation from either from the corner or the throw-in is that near post. Is that near post flick, and that's what they've been going for. And J.C. Banks does a good job to get it to Kissy here for that flick, and just Gilstrap gets blocked there by Kadich or Rocco, and
looks like he's holding his left elbow after the contact with Rocco.
a little bit of a grimace there. And
backup goalkeeper is Derek Yabi. Only played in one game this year. Should Justin Evans need to go to the bench. Harada, top of the 18. Played forward, but no one there for Pittsburgh. Now Flunder with it. Plays it back to Shintaro Harada.
He's been a professional since he was 19 years old. Tooled around a little bit in the MLS. Really never got a great opportunity in the MLS. And he's made himself home here with Pittsburgh, and he's a great playmaker in the center of the park for Justin Evans.
To see him, I'm sure the Riverhounds want to see him get some more opportunities to create. This one's now played forward by the Riverhounds. They'll come backwards with it off of J.C. Banks.
And with Harada and Fondi in there, I like Fondi's 21, and you can see every time he gets the ball, he's creating something. 21 years old, it's nice to see a young player like that, confident to get the ball and who really wants the ball, playing in the center of the park.
You know, you bring up a great point about Fondi. In that 3-0 win at Pittsburgh on June the 17th, he came in off the bench, huge creative spark. And then on the 22nd of July here in Rochester, Fondi again came off the bench and was a huge spark. So I think it's a well-deserved start for the youngster.
Well, Appy is out with an injury, so that's most likely one of the reasons why Fondi's out there. Appy, that strong gun in the center of the park for them, is out with an injury, so that's tough for Pittsburgh for tonight. Hopefully for Pittsburgh, he's ready for next week.
When Fondi came on, he was a little more withdrawn. He wasn't so high up the pitch. That's where I thought he was most effective, but tonight looks like he's right up top with Dayton.
Well, with Schaefer and Harada, we're a little bit want to get the ball a little bit more. You can see Harada's wide open, gets the ball right there, and he plays simple. He's the guy who's going to switch the park from side to side. He's directing the team out there, just telling Kadich where to play. And you want Schaefer in that 4-2-3-1. You can see how strong Fondi is, 21, and you want Dayton and Fondi starting doing some combination play up top.
Yeah, Justin Evans has some pretty big physical forwards at his disposal. Yeisley, who's not even dressed tonight, is another one who's a huge target player up top.
He's another guy who's injured. And he's got 5 goals and 2 assists, so he's a big loss for them tonight as well.
Quality player, very good player from what we've seen.
So you're missing 2 of your starters to injuries. So save them for next. Those are the guys you're saving for next week.
Absolutely. Cost now on the near side. Little chip into the box for Kissy. Gets away with a little nudge on Rolko. In the 26th minute, we are still scoreless. There's Fondi, able to turn, look up towards midfield. Loose ball trickling onto the foot now of Fondi. He's going to push it forward. Tries to get to the far side, never going to reach.
And that's that's the youth there, where let's keep the ball. He's trying to force it to Dayton. Dayton's the guy who's going to score goals. He's got 6 goals. But really, let's keep the ball. Tommy Gray's on the outside. You got a 2v1 situation against Rich Costanzo. Let's go for it. Let's go down that sideline.
Rhinos pick up possession after the giveaway by Fondi. J.C. Banks for Costanzo. Banks will go back to Tyler Bellamy, who's been the anchor defensively for Rochester.
So the engine of the team, Tyler Rosenlund and Donatelli, who leads the team in assists, 2 guys who you haven't said a lot of lately. Those are the 2 guys that the Rhinos have to start playing the ball through. So then you can do combinations play with Kissy. Right now you see Mauro Gavan's got the ball, Costa's got the ball, and Costanzo. You need to get Rosenlund and Donatelli more involved.
Good point. A lot of calls for Costa and Mota Galvan. As Harada draws it back, plays it to Kadich. On the near side, Horner for Harada. Some pressure from J.C. Banks, so Kadich will calm and cool, come to the outside. And Roberts will win a header. Mota Galvan not happy with his touch there for Tyler Rosenlund. 28 minutes in, the Rhinos and the Riverhounds are scoreless. For Rochester, it's home for the playoffs again on Friday. Looking at the schedule tonight in USL Pro, Wilmington is at the Dayton Dutch Lions. And tomorrow, as Mike mentioned, 8 p.m. kickoff out west. Richmond Kickers at the LA Blues. They played to a scoreless draw last night at Cal State Fullerton. So that gave the Richmond Kickers 40 points on the season. Rolko, the team captain, chips it through the 18, looking for Dayton. Not going to reach it, as it'll be picked up by Neil Kitson, who had a bit of a homecoming last week at FC New York. And I tell you, the homecomings back at Belson Stadium on St. John's campus have not been too kind. They lost 2-1 on May 30th, and then they lost 2-1 again last Sunday. So the home turf where Neil Kitson was a standout at St. John's, not been too kind to him at the pro level. There's Tuttle on the near side for Tommy Gray. Good move to get around Costanzo. Caught him flat, gets around Roberts. Tries to get the cross whipped in, and this will be a throw-in deep in the Rhinos half, just outside the corner flag on the near side.
And the refs over there talking to Roberts. That was a little bit of a dangerous tackle going after him. Really, he had no chance for the ball and just went down reckless on Tommy Gray. And
sounds familiar. How was your game last night? Offsides as Gray received the ball back off the throw-in. You want to talk about that, Mike? No comment?
You know, Gray's got to be smarter there. He's got to, after he throws the ball in, he's just got to get back into onside position. If that's a play, too, and he threw the ball to Dayton's head, you want to throw the ball to feet, or Dayton's got to flick that if it's going to his head. So it was definitely miscommunication between Dayton and Gray.
Free kick for Kitson. Up and over midfield. Flunder.
And Roberts has to be careful because refs do make mistakes sometimes. And they pull a red card for a tackle.
No, never. The Friday Night Men's League, never saw it before in my life.
Refs definitely make mistakes.
Sure.
It's okay.
Players never do.
No, players make more mistakes, but when the refs make a mistake, it's definitely out there and everyone
We
can
are
see
referring to Mike's men's game last night in the local Rochester Men's League, a very competitive league. But Mr. Kerms, after how many minutes did you see a straight red?
It was the 70th minute.
So you got a good portion of the game in, so you made it worth your while.
Good fitness. That's why.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. He was tired after 70 minutes. And
I'm not sure USL Live is concerned about the over 30 league in Rochester.
Oh, but I'm concerned when my broadcast partner gets a straight red. Very, very enjoyable. There's Harada and the Riverhounds. 31st minute, Pittsburgh, Rochester are at zeros. The Rhinos bombed long-distance goals June 17th at Pittsburgh to take a 3-0 victory, and then a 3-0 victory at home.
And Hoxie scored in both those games. And he's coming off the bench tonight.
He's had a great season.
Very good season.
5-2 for Hawks.
Leads the team in points with 12 points.
After 3-5 last year, 3 goals, 5 assists. And look at Neil Kitson there. Huge up over Roberts and Bellamy.
And we say that Hoxie leads the Rhinos in points, but he's 17th in the league. And that's where the Rhinos really, they have a distribution of players that are scoring goals. No one is really stepping up for the Rhinos to really be that leader on the pitch. They're your go-to person that's going to score. Someone needs to be a go-to person in this playoff.
Yeah, is that something you're going to see the team who wins the championship in this league? They're going to have that one guy who at that crucial moment kind of takes the team upon his shoulders?
A lot of times you see that. You not really take it upon his shoulders, but he's the guy who feels it. He's feeling it through the playoffs. He's the one who's hitting the back of the net, and it's just flowing for him. And there's going to be that guy, and you just have to figure out who it's going to be for the Rhinos.
He better show up starting on Friday night at 7:30. That's when the playoffs begin in the National Division. Referee made a call there. Looks like a handball against J.C. Banks.
And Pittsburgh has a similar situation. Their 2 leading scorers are 17th, right with Hoxie with 12 points each. Dayton and Yeisley.
Any word if Yeisley's going to return for next week? Justin Evans.
That's the word.
Talk about that.
That's the word.
Smart move then to rest him this evening.
Well, I think he's hurt. Otherwise, he'd be playing. He's injured. He's not 60, 70%. He's injured. So
one less headache for the Rhinos to worry about up top, as he was constantly buzzing around the Rhinos' back line. 34th minute. Mike, in your analysis of the game so far, these two teams know they're going to meet each other next Friday in the playoffs. Do you feel they're kind of just, I don't want to say going through the motions, but just kind of knocking it around and trying not to make that first mistake and, keep it close to the vest?
No, I think both teams are going for it. Pittsburgh's got to sit back a little bit. They're on the road. They're not strong they haven't been strong on the road this year. The Rhinos are keeping possession very nicely. And there you see Costanzo's hitting that long ball to Donatelli, and they're going for it. The Rhinos are being patient. They've got 50 minutes left in the match. 55 minutes left.
Flicked into space for Fondi. Gets the cross away, but no one in the box as Dayton was much too late coming out of that one. Dayton actually played the ball to Fondi.
Yeah, Fondi's definitely not sitting back. He's buzzing around here. Harada's buzzing around.
He's getting his chance. Cost on the near side for J.C. Banks. Gets away from Tommy Gray. Banks still with it. Into the 18 for Rosenlund. Kadich. Or Rolko. Well read there to break it up. Calm and cool. Schaefer. Sterling Flunder. Second year with the Riverhounds. Plays it forward for Dayton. Flicks it middle of the park for Fondi. Now Tommy Gray's got some space here on the near side. One-on-one with Costanzo. Gray cutting it inside. Fires with the left, and that is off the frame. And it'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos and Neil Kitson. Rochester, the regular season champs, Mike, in the NASL last year. And then they win the National Division Championship. So hats off to the man in charge, Bob Lilly, Pat Erkley as well, the GM, for continuing that success. There's Kitson's goal kick up and over midfield. And this one rolls out of bounds on the far side. Cuevas Kirk, in his first year with the Rhinos, gets the throw into Montegalvan. It's played behind Donatelli. And it'll be a throw-in on the far side. For Sterling Flunder and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. There's the throw-in by Flunder. It's high up to midfield. Bellamy takes an elbow to the eye, but he's hopefully able to shake it off as he has the ball now. 37th minute, Rochester, Pittsburgh are scoreless. There's Cost. Now for Roberts. Costanzo working the near side. Just to thread the needle there. Murata takes it away. Banks with a strong challenge. Roseland and Kissy get tangled up, and there should be a free kick for the Rhinos just outside the Pittsburgh 18.
Yeah, and the ref saying it was cleats up on Kadich there. But no card. I mean, a little reckless, no card, but still, he might have got ball, but he came in. The ref thought cleats up. I thought maybe he had his toe down.
Possible. I'll watch the replay from last night's game and let you know if it was the same case. So it's a free kick for Donatelli. To the right of Hunter Gilstrap, about 23 or 24 yards away. Donatelli, low service that's into the crowd. The overhead kick by Roberts wins a corner kick for the Rhinos, and the crowd with a appreciative round of applause.
It's nice when you see your defensive player of the year trying to do a bicycle in the 18.
Oh, it would have been great if someone got on the end of that.
It was a good idea by Donatelli, but Hirata read that and broke it up.
Galvan with the corner. Sitting in the 18, finally taken away by Rolko. He looks up. No other option but just to hit it and see if the Riverhounds can regroup.
The option is to try to keep the ball there instead of giving it right back to the Rhinos and getting yourself back into defensive situation.
As soon as he hit that long ball, even the crowd kind of gave him a little bit of business. As he looked up and didn't see a blue jersey anywhere down the pitch.
They were saying thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll come at you again.
You know, you're under pressure all night, and then you've got the ball, you've got a little bit of space, and
Banks, it's got to be a foul there. He's obstructed. Sterling Flunder had the scissor lock on J.C. Banks. Referee says play on. He's got to be kidding me. I agree with the crowd. Tommy Gray plays it behind Horner. And Kadich will drive this out of bounds in the 40th minute.
So you got your two center backs just knocking the ball right back into the Rhinos' possession. And that's something that Justin Evans is going to want to change.
Costanzo. Rosenlund with the flick forward to Kissy. Kadich all over his back, and what a great move by Kissy. And referee tonight, Jason Pelletier, has seen enough of Nico Kadich's antics, and he'll go in the book in the 40th minute. First yellow card of the game for Kadich. What a great move by Kissy just to spin away from the tight mark. Kadich had to just take him down. Look at that, beautiful.
Yeah, Kissy does a good job. Kadich just gets too tight. You can't play that tight on a player like Kissy. He's just going to hook you, and you saw that Kissy had his left hand right on Kadich's hip. He felt him the whole way. You can't allow a forward to feel you like that. And that's exactly what Kadich did, and Kissy turned it.
Banks turns the corner with a cross, but headed away by the Riverhounds. Roberts, no one there for the Rhinos. Dayton heads it to the middle of the park. No one is there. Bad touch here by Cost. Fondy has it. Here's J.C. Banks coming down the middle of the field. And referee's assistant has his flag up on the near side as Dayton came back to receive the ball from an offsides position, and looks like it's going to be a restart for the Rhinos.
Bellamy's down, which
that's not good.
It looks like there's something wrong with his knee and he can't work it out.
Took a knock to the eye with an elbow, and now he's down. A left leg injury is what it appears to be. Subs available for Rochester: Anthony Hamilton, Kendall Jagdio Singh, Connor Tobin, Kenny Versailles, Andrew Hoxie, Johanse Marshall, and backup goalkeeper Ryan Kenny. So it looks like Bellamy took a knock to the left leg. So the players have a chance to get hydrated if they want to take a little sprint over to the sidelines. Pittsburgh taking advantage of it. No Rhinos have made their way over yet. Now Bellamy, the Community Service Award winner for Rochester this season. He's played in 21 games. Last year he was the Rookie of the Year out of St. Bonaventure University. And they're getting the indication from midfield that Bellamy is going to have to come off, Mike.
Who do you got? You got Versailles and Connor Tobin that are options.
Hansi Marshall. So a couple of different choices here for Bob Lilly. And Bellamy is going to have some help coming off the pitch as all his weight is on his right leg, and this does not look good for the Rhinos. Is that left leg just kind of hanging there? Let's hope for the best for Tyler. Just a great kid, a great player. He looks like he is in a lot of pain, Mike. Looks like it's going to be Tobin who's going to be coming on. So Connor Tobin will replace him defensively. This change is going to come up now in the 44th minute.
Entering the game is number 15, Connor Tobin. Replacing number 2, Tyler Bellamy.
And Justin Evans is questioning why the referee waited for Connor Tobin to get ready after Bellamy was already off the field. And Justin Evans is right. You got to start the game, and the ref waited for a sub like we were playing U10 soccer.
Got to be even. That's exactly what they were. Costanzo bombs this one off of Tommy Gray. Bellamy with the trainer and team doctor surrounding him. Good look at that left leg.
Looks like it's Bellamy's knee. Hopefully it's not an ACL, or hopefully it's not his ACL or his meniscus. Well, we'd rather it be a meniscus, obviously, than an ACL.
2 minutes of stoppage time as we are scoreless at Salem Stadium.
ACL easily 6 months out. Meniscus could be back in 2-3 weeks. Or hopefully it's just a twist or
just a slight little knock. We're in stoppage time. Donatelli, top of the 18, spins, fires with the right foot, and Gilstrap there to tip it up over the bar. The Rhinos will have a late corner kick here in stoppage time.
There's Donatelli, who leads the team in shots.
Good turn on the shot there by Donatelli. Fourth quarter kick for the Rhinos, far side. Kissy heads it down at the 6. Tobin just couldn't get the poke on it. And Hunter Gilstrap will scoop that up.
Fans, tonight's Casa Larga fan of the game is Patsy, who's sitting in section 127. Congratulations. You'll be able to take your excitement to Casa Larga.
Halfway through stoppage time. The Rhinos have been forced to go to the bench once, as Bellamy came off in the 44th minute with a left leg injury. He's replaced by Connor Tobin. There's Rosenlund. Rolko does a nice job just to body him off the ball, and Flunder comes in to pick up the loose ball.
And Dayton's got a tough job, and he's not getting the ball a lot to his feet, and they're hitting him long balls to his head, and you've got Troy Roberts there and now Connor Tobin. So Dayton's got to challenge these guys by himself every single time.
Chance for Rosenlund as Gilstrap at the top of the 18 gets the header away from the Rhinos MVP, Tyler Rosenlund.
And we've seen that before in the World Cup, and where David Villa, the goalie, came out and headed the ball out. David Villa one time right over the goalie from about 40 yards out, huh?
And Jason Pelletier, Mike blows the whistle. There's the update from the pitch. Thanks to Dave, our trusty spotter, for the update. Tyler Bellamy has a left knee injury. That's all we know right now, but thanks for the information. We will take a short break, come back and speak with the 2011 Rhinos MVP, Tyler Rosenlund.
Yeah, it's a little hard. Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the field and welcome your 2011 Rhinos dance team led by the birthday girl Julie, and they are brought to you by Maximum Tan.
Okay.
Come back. Salem Stadium after 45 minutes of play. The Rhinos and the Riverhounds are scoreless. Time for our halftime interview, and we're joined by the 2011 Rhinos MVP, Tyler Rosenlund. Tyler, welcome to the halftime show, and congratulations. It's got to be quite an honor to receive the MVP award voted by your teammates. Congratulations. Got to hit that little extra step tonight.
Yeah, it's always great to win that award. We have a lot of guys on the team that could have got it, but especially when it's voted by your peers.
Yeah, Tyler, you're the engine out there for the team most games, and tonight, what are you guys playing for? I mean, you're already locked first place. You're definitely playing Pittsburgh. You guys are out there, and you've got your starting lineup out there. What do you guys feel like you're playing for right now?
Well, we've lost our last couple of games, so we want to get back on track, and we want to send a message to them. We beat them twice already by 3. We don't want to drop this one. We want to beat them tonight and come back next week and beat them as well. So definitely trying to show a message.
Yeah, Justin Evans said the same thing before the match. He's like, he wants to make an impact here. How do you think Pittsburgh's showing tonight?
I think they're playing pretty well defensively. They haven't really had any chances. I think we've been more on their end than they have ours. But, with all the possession we're having, we really haven't created too many chances. We had a couple shots. But I think the longer the game goes on, we'll start breaking them down even better.
Well, Tyler, I'm sure Bob wants to see you guys in the dressing room. Thanks for your time. Congratulations, 2011 MVP, Tyler Rosenlund.
Thank you.
Let's go to break as the Rhinos and the Riverhounds are scoreless after 45 minutes of play on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Salem Stadium is the venue for the third and final meeting of the regular season between Rochester and Pittsburgh. We'll change sides. Rochester will be attacking the goal to our right. And there was one change made. Tobin did come on for Bellamy, who went off with a left knee injury, and it appeared to be pretty serious, Mike, as he had a lot of assistance coming off the field. So let's keep our fingers crossed that it's nothing major for the Rhinos youngster.
Yeah, we don't see him coming out of the locker room either, so you know that they're tending to him right now inside that locker room. Probably icing that knee for him, regardless of what it is, ACL, MCL, the ice is going to help regardless. So
the Rhinos will have the kickoff in half number 2. Rosenland and Kissy knocking it around, staying loose. And Mike, these two teams are going to square it off again on Friday. Now, they don't want to show too much, but really, how much can you hide? It's your third time playing against the Riverhounds. I think each team knows the other's strengths and weaknesses.
There is nothing to hide except maybe a set play or something. So that, you throw your guys out there that you want to play. You don't want guys resting for 2 weeks before playing again. You want them playing. So resting your players this week wouldn't have been good for either team.
Long ball on the kickoff for Donatelli on the near side. It comes off the hand, and coming up the other way will be the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. I'd like to thank Andrew Battisti, by the way, for doing a great job filling in last Sunday from New York in the 2-1 loss. As Gilstrap will have the restart here. There we go, log service, downfield, one-time shot by Horner. There's up and over, way off the mark, as Kitson will pick up a goal kick for the Rhinos.
I talked to Paul Shaw last week before that game. I talked to Matt Weston, the former coach of FC New York, and then I talked to Paul Shaw. They were both very confident that FC New York was going to come out and beat the Rhinos again, and sure enough, they did, 2-1.
Flicked on by Montegalvan. Roseland playing it forward. Looking for Kissy. Kissy gets the next flick, but Flunder will just have a high clearance up towards midfield. Finally brought down on the turf by Roseland for J.C. Banks. Low service into the box. Blocked there by Kadich. And off of J.C. Banks, who picked up the Rhinos Rookie of the Year award earlier tonight.
And that's well-deserved. I mean, he's had a great season on that left side, and it's nice to see a rookie that can really get right into the professional ranks and just get himself involved, and he's an integral part of this team. He's just so dangerous on that left side, and I'm sure the teams look at him every week and say, okay, watch out for this guy coming up. He's very crafty. He's young, but he's quick, long throw-in. Gets himself involved nonstop.
Banks, the University of Wisconsin Green Bay product. He was a draft pick in the 4th round of Toronto FC. And the bloodlines are there for a good, long professional soccer career. His father, Jimmy Banks, former member of the U.S. men's national team. So J.C. Banks following in that footstep. As the Riverhounds. Kadich will drive one forward. Headed back to the middle of the field. Cost able to get there before Horner. And there was a collision on the far side where looks like it was Troy Roberts and Tommy Gray, who are still down on the turf. Roberts looks like he's holding his stomach or his chest. Can't tell from here, but he took a knock, maybe just knocking the wind out of him. Tommy Gray is up, Troy Roberts is up, and hopefully not too much service of the trainer needed. Referee is Jason Pelletier, and I think he didn't like what he saw on the challenge by both of those players, so he has a word with them to settle things down. Riverhounds giving possession back to the Rhinos. The showers and the lightning are done for the evening. As we're looking at the forecast for tomorrow, another nasty day in Rochester, but hopefully we'll dodge that bullet tonight.
Well, tomorrow night the flash play against Atlanta, and thunderstorms won't be good. It won't be great for Project Pink, where they're raffling off their uniforms, their jerseys, and they're all making baskets for the raffle. Actually, I believe it's an auction.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much are you going to bid on the Alex Morgan jersey?
I'm not.
I know there's about 3,000 people who will be tomorrow night.
Well, thunderstorms may hurt that.
That's true. Roseland had to give away, but working hard to get possession back. Kadich and Kissy battle for it. Montegalvan now on the near side. Rocco gets there before Donatelli and pops it out over the near sideline. It's a very crazy time in the world of soccer. The Premier League in England is underway. A couple of games this morning to catch up on. And also, Mike, Jurgen Klinsmann making his debut as the men's national coach for the United States, and 1-1 result against Mexico. A little choppy at times, but your thoughts on it?
I'm very excited to have Jurgen Klinsmann as the coach. And the Latino influence, we've talked about it before. We're going to see the Latino influence in there, and there was 3 Latinos that played that night, and 4 actually, with Agudelo, who came off the bench, and it was, I'd say 3 of them showed really well.
Just very happy, very comfortable with the demeanor of Klinsmann. Even after Mexico scored that first goal, you could see him clapping his hands. No problem, everything was good.
Well, and part of his goal is to also influence the grassroots here in the United States, and it's not just about the U.S. men's national team. He looks at all of his choices around the country, and he says, we're not there yet, and he's being honest. The United States is not there yet with the players that he has available to him or the players that he knows that are available to him.
You know, Claudio Reyna, who's in charge of development for the Federation, I think it's a great idea that Klinsmann wants him at his side. I think the guys on ESPN said it best, where the ideas of the national team will start to trickle down through the lower ranks, and that's going to be Reyna's connection to the program.
Well, and they're a team. I mean, it's the USSF team for the USM men's national team, and that's the way it should be. And I'm sure Bob Bradley and Claudio Reyna had that same relationship, had a relationship as well, but Jurgen's making it clear that it's going to be the grassroots program, and this isn't just for the World Cup in Brazil. It's for the next World Cup. It's for the one after that as well.
There's Rosenland. Donatelli was going to strike it, but Harada came to break it up. And getting back to that, Gulati and the Federation finally got their man after a few attempts in bringing in Jurgen Klinsmann. But you know what, Mike? Hats off to Bob Bradley as well. Did a nice job. Kissy working hard in the 18. Just couldn't get that to settle. Tally on the near side. Costly back heel. Harada. And it's offsides on Dayton. Referee doesn't see the flag is up. Finally does and blows the whistle.
Again, Kissy got that ball coming from the right side, and he brings it right back into pressure because he wants that ball to be on his right foot. He needs to, he must be able to strike the ball with his left peg at this level.
Greatest strikers in the world make it happen right or left. Donatelli's cross is deflected, but Gilstrap is there to pick it up. It's twice now where Kissy has preferred that right foot. I tell you though, those pure, just nose for the goal strikers, I don't know if they exist out there anymore. You know, the Giorgio Quinalias and some of the other great strikers we've seen over the years.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
They're just not the same anymore. As Flunder coming forward. Fondi, top of the 18. Still scrapping for it. Tobin comes in to clear it away. Now Rosenlund. Near side for Donatelli.
And now they've got to attack with speed. Flunder's caught forward. Tuttle's caught forward. And then they slowed it down. Now, that's the time where they got to attack with speed. The Rhinos have to attack with speed when you see that the Pittsburgh Riverhounds are going up with numbers, because it was a good attack, and Fondy lost the ball from Tobin, and they needed to attack.
There's the cross through the crowd and over J.C. Banks' head. Good ball in from Rosenlund. Kissy went up for it. Bob Lilly still coaching and patrolling the sidelines, as well as Justin Evans, the first ever player signed by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. A 10-year playing career.
And man, was he a good player. I mean, Justin Evans was a solid player, and he's doing it here as a coach as well. And one thing that Justin Evans let me know before the game is we only have a 2-week preseason before their first game of the season. So these guys only got to train together for 2 weeks, and you saw how rough they started at the beginning of the season. And now they're 5-1-3 in their last 9 matches. So now they're starting to gel, where a lot of teams are 2 to 3 weeks ahead of them. The Rhinos had a 4 to 5 week preseason versus the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 week. And you're in the north, so you're not outdoors yet against a team versus Orlando, Wilmington, or Charlotte. They're outdoors the entire time, where the Rhinos and Pittsburgh, they have to struggle playing indoor soccer, and it's just not the same.
Ball on the near side for Tuttle. Here's Harada. Stripped by Montegalvan. Kissy off his chest. Roseland coming forward now. We'll go to the far side of the 18 for J.C. Banks. Ball gets tangled up in his feet, so the Rhinos will start their attack again. Rich Costanzo cross into the box. Donatelli with the header. And that's not going to trouble the goalkeeper, Hunter Gilstrap. We are in the 56th minute. Rochester and Pittsburgh are scoreless. As the Riverhounds, the hottest team over the last 6 weeks, looking to continue that fine form as they prepare for next Friday's playoff match right here at Salem Stadium against your Rochester Rhinos. There's Gilstrap with the goal kick. Roberts with the header. Flicked into space as Fondy's going to run onto his own ball. And we'll call a foul on Dayton. There should be a free kick for the Rhinos about 35 yards out from their own goal. It's 9:48 right now, and again, we had a 93-minute weather delay, so if you're wondering why the game is still on, that's the reason. It didn't kick off till 8:33. Rosenlund now for Donatelli. And to get Cuevas Kirk free on the near side. Tobin's got some time, looks up, plays it to the middle of the field. Now Cost trying the near side. Donatelli's got some space here. Takes a touch inside now. Rosenlund showing for the ball. Can't get it there to Montegalvan. Fondy almost able to keep it in bounds and push it downfield, but completely over the near sideline and out of bounds. A throw in for the Rhinos. Justin Evans still with a nice little touch there.
Man, I'll tell you, I remember battles against Justin, and he got stuck in and he fought, he battled all the time. Every time we went to Pittsburgh, Justin Evans was the guy we had to watch out for, because, he was kicking you, scrapping you, and then he was also changing the point of attack for them.
Really quite a lot of excellent battles between you guys, the Rhinos, and the Riverhounds over the years. Playoff games, U.S. Open Cup games,
1-0
classic battles.
Every game was 1-0, 2-1. They were a tough team to beat, and vice versa. We were a tough team to beat for them, and it was they were, they were tough. If I think about some of the teams that we used to play against that we always had struggled with, or just tough battles, and I would never say it was like going in against the way teams feel with Dayton right now.
Always a tough matchup. They had some great leadership. Paul Child was an assistant coach, former NASL superstar, and they had some good names involved with that team. Tommy Gray shoving Banks down, and will play on. There's Horner on the far side. Dayton. Justin Evans pleading for the team to come to the near side. And Kadich will whip one all the way over to the near side of the 18.
And Justin Evans gave him a thumbs up. He needs the Pittsburgh Riverhounds to start switching the point of attack. Get the ball out of pressure from the right-hand side, and let's switch the point of attack. I don't know if that's the best route to take right there, with Horner making that long ball over to Tuttle, but still, you need to switch the point of attack if you're gonna beat the Rhinos.
60th minute, goal kick for the Rhinos. Tommy Gray, a little payback from J.C. Banks as the possession is kept by the Riverhounds. At the next stoppage, I'm sure Jason Pelletier will have a word with the Rhinos, number 29, as Banks has the ball now. Costanzo on the far side. Banks looks up, sends a long ball right down the middle. Rolko lets it bounce. Could be trouble here. Clears it straight up in the air in the 18. Headed back to Gilstrap, and Kissy on the sprint there. As Rolko almost made a meal of that one.
Well, Kissy was reading it, and Kissy was just going after it. Kissy made the right play on it, and Kadich with that had to be the proper weight of the header in order. Otherwise, Kissy was going to get that ball.
Good anticipation from Isaac Kissy as J.C. Banks.
And that's a yellow card.
He's definitely going to get a yellow card as he, again, I think he's still upset, Mike, from that earlier no call. And we are in the 62nd minute. J.C. Banks picks up first yellow card of the game for the Rhinos.
A yellow card caution has been issued to the Rhinos for 29.
And you knew that was coming. I thought it was at least going to be just a verbal warning after his little shove from behind on Tommy Gray, but that time the referee had seen enough. So one yellow card apiece through 62 minutes.
Well, the rookie of the year, that's the difference between a rookie and a veteran. The veteran waited about 15, 20 minutes before that tackle came back.
True.
The rookie couldn't wait any longer. He got that opportunity, took that opportunity right away.
Yeah. Couldn't store it in that memory bank for too long. It looks like Kendall Jagdio Singh will be coming on for the Rhinos. Free kick coming up here for the Riverhounds after the J.C. Banks foul. That's through Kissy. Able to keep possession for the Riverhounds. Is Horner. Fondy slips. Kirk has the ball on the near side. Can't get it to Donatelli. Rolko to Harada on the far side.
Oh yeah, and you could see that Horner got his hand on it, but he turned his body.
Banks pushing into the box. The cross. One-timer to go! Rich Costanzo at the 6.
And I was just going to make a comment over here when Kirk gave that ball away earlier that you really haven't seen Kirk and Costanzo get into the offense. They need to get into the attack in order for the Rhinos to be more dangerous. And sure enough, Costanzo gets into the attack and gets himself a goal.
Second goal of the year for Rich Costanzo. For J.C. Banks, his 4th assist. There's a replay for you.
Great speed and explosion by J.C. Banks. And you got the coach's award, and it's Harada who knocks that ball. Rich Costanzo, who wins the ball against Gray, and then just continues his attack. And good combination play. And it's really J.C. Banks, and you see Rich Costanzo coming right through the middle. He wants it. J.C. Banks makes a great play, good explosion. And Rich Costanzo is just sitting there, just licking his chops. And I'm sure his eyes were as big as his head when that thing came across.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to find either.
His eyes were as big as a cantaloupe for sure.
So Costanzo's second goal, Banks' fourth assist. 63rd minute, the Rhinos have a 1-0 lead to pump some excitement into this crowd. Now Donatelli's on the near side of the 18. Still with it, a shot off the right foot, just wide of the near post.
And do you know when the Rhinos score the majority of their goals?
Tell me.
The Rhinos score the majority of their goals in the second 15-minute period of a half. And right there, sure enough, there you see it again.
So 2 changes will be coming up here, Mike, for the Riverhounds. Seth will be coming on.
This year the Rhinos have...
Sievers.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
That's right.
This year the Rhinos have scored 14 goals in the middle 15-minute period of a half. 9 in the front half, 8 in the front third, 8 in the back third of a half. So they get themselves into the match, and then all of a sudden you got Costanzo who comes through, puts the ball in the open net. Hey, you know what my mom's maiden name was?
Costanzo.
Yes.
I think we talked about that. Changes coming up here for the Riverhounds. Mike Seth is coming on, replacing Ben Horner, number 15. And Chad Sievers, the former Rhino, replacing number 16, Jeremy Dayton. These changes coming up in the 66th minute. So 2 changes made by Dayton. 1 for Rochester, but Hoxie and Jagdeo Singh will come on and make it 3 for Bob Lilly's Rhinos. As Seth is 23 years old, from Pittsburgh, played at Penn State Barron. As Sievers, we know very well, has played with Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Wilmington. He has been around the block in addition to playing with the Rhinos. And what a great run from Costanzo to get in on that goal. I mean, he came all the way from the far side of the field, made himself available in front of the goal. Good stuff. Good hard work.
He won the ball, and he stayed with the play, and that's a sign of a solid back. You win the ball and you stay with the play, and you like to see your outside backs get into the mix, and that's what Rich Costanzo does.
Hats off to Rich Costanzo. We're in the 67th minute. The Rhinos have a 1-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Let's take a break for station identification. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos, as Costanzo finishing off the J.C. Banks service in the 63rd minute.
So Dayton was the guy that was the key to the match, and I don't think Dayton really did his job tonight. And also the Riverhounds really haven't found Dayton that much. But you also didn't see Dayton making a lot of those diagonal runs to really want the ball. He also has a trainer looking at him, so who knows? Maybe he's a little bit injured or just needs some ice. But I don't think Dayton did enough tonight for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Kissie's in the 18, crosses it, and not sure if that was a shot or a cross because it was blasted across the goal mouth. J.C. Banks was knocking on the door, waiting for the simple tap in. Kissie's had a tough time getting his feet underneath him tonight. A couple of decisions that I'm sure he'll have a talking to with Bob Lilly. And that cross not finding its target. Throwing now to Harada, middle of the field, 69 minutes in. 1-0 Rhinos. Sievers lays it off to Tuttle. Flunder on the near side. Gets the right-footed cross into the 18, and Kitson right off the head of Fondy, rolls it out to J.C. Banks. Stripping that one out of the air.
And I think that's really the first time I've thought Kitson really needed to make a save. A couple crosses, he came out and got him, but I saw Fondy coming through, and Fondy's up top now replacing Dayton, and Severs came in and playing Fondy's role. And Fondy's actually a little bit more movement than I even saw from Dayton today.
Oh, absolutely. Rosalind, top of the 18. Had it lined up for the left-footed shot, decides to play it back to Donatelli. Gets the cross in, and the header is whistled wide, or whistled up and over the goal.
And Tyler Rosalind needs to take that shot.
It was there. It was there.
And that was the issue against Charlotte. They got those opportunities, and you saw Tyler had some opportunities in that match too, and didn't take those opportunities. You need to take those opportunities at the top of the 18.
Goal kick in the 70th minute for Gilstrap. Looking at some of your numbers through the first 70 minutes, the Rhinos 11 shots, 2 for the Riverhounds. Corner kicks, 4 for Rochester, none for Pittsburgh. And fouls in favor of Pittsburgh, 7-5. As Kendall Jagdeo Singh is on the sideline speaking with Bob Lilly. The 24-year-old from Trinidad picked up the Rhinos Offensive Player of the Year award earlier this evening. There's Kitson's goal kick down that far side.
So if there's anything that you could say about Tyler Rosalind on what he needs to do more, he is an unselfish player. Last year he had 2 goals and 5 assists. This year he's got 2 goals, but he's only got 17 shots on the year. So if there's anything that you got to tell Tyler Rosalind is when you're in the 18 or at the top of the 18, be less selfish and just have a go. Left peg, right peg, you can hit it with both. So if there's anything you could say about that guy, because he's such a workhorse, deservingly so, MVP, but he needs to shoot more for the team.
Have a go, my friend.
You're being unselfish for you, but it's a little bit selfish for the team. You gotta be unselfish for the team and take those shots.
Malta Galvan, Cuevas Kirk. Some possession for the Rhinos in midfield. There's Cost. Played forward through Fondy and into the arms of Neil Kitson. The Rhinos looking for the season sweep. They've taken the first 2 games by a combined score of 6-0. Now it's 7-0 overall, where they've outscored the Riverhounds this year in their 3 meetings. Looks like Jagdeo Singh will come on for Kissy at the next stoppage. He's with the 4th official as the Rhinos have possession. Middle of the field, Tobin. He'll work the near side now with Rosalind, checking back central for the ball. Montegalvan now for Donatelli. There's Banks, switched over to the near side of midfield. Donatelli, low left-footed cross, cleared away by Kadich. On that far side, here's Severs, brings it down, lays it off for Fondy. Tommy Gray's overlapping on the far side, cutting it inside for Fondy. Tuttle gets a cross into the 18. Costanzo settles it off the chest, pushes it down the middle of the field. No one there for the Rhinos. And Kadich will come off of his foot, and a throw in for the Rhinos. So Jagdeo Singh will come on for Kissy in the 73rd minute. Kendall Jagdeo Singh's 21st appearance of the year. 5 goals, 1 assist. It's the second change of the game.
And that's the right sub. You've got your forward that's been working for 70 minutes. You bring in Jagdeo Singh, who's your offensive player of the year, for Kissy. I mean, Kissy did an okay job. I think he had a couple opportunities in the box where he could have made a better decision. Put the ball on his left foot. People know that he's a right footer. He's got to fake him out, put it on his left foot. And then he also had the opportunity just recently with that with that cross that could have just been driven on the ground.
Montegalvan, a good shoulder shrug to get off Severs, and the ball's played forward. Jagdeo Singh's first touch, top of the 18. Still working in the box, gets the cross away, tough angle, deflected, and cleared away by Tommy Gray to give up the corner kick.
It's a good first few touches by Jagdeo Singh. You step on the field, you've got full energy, and that's your job. You're coming off the bench, you got to lift the team, spark the team up, give them even more energy than they've had this game.
It'll be a corner kick from the far side, and Montegalvan will take it. 5th corner kick of the game for the Rhinos.
And you got your center backs that are tired. They've been chasing Kissy and Rosalind all match. So go right at them and try to beat them.
Montegalvan with the corner, and Gilstrap with the save through traffic. Looks like a couple more changes will be coming on for the Riverhounds. Gilstrap puts it on the turf, drives it downfield. High ball to the Rhinos 18, headed forward by Cuevas Kirk. Now coming forward, right-footed shot there. As the Rhinos giving just a bit of an opening there to the Riverhounds to take a look at goal. And some changes coming up. Adam Gazda will come on and replace Fondi. For Gazda, it's his 3rd appearance of the year. Lundberg is going to be coming on, the 22-year-old, and he'll replace number 10, Matt Tuttle. This is 4 changes for Justin Evans and the Riverhounds. 76th minute, the time of these changes. And we are underway with a goal kick for Neil Kitson. Lundberg, the rookie out of Duquesne University. And Tommy Gray, looks like he's come over to the near side, working one-on-one with Cuevas Kirk, and he'll be called for the hold as he had the arms up around Cuevas Kirk, and it'll be a free kick coming up for the Rhinos. 77th minute. If you're just tuning in, I'm Joe Giuliano. Mike Kerms along as well, and the Rhinos in the 63rd minute got a goal from Rich Costanzo, his 2nd of the year. J.C. Banks picked up his 4th assist to set the table for this 1-0 lead. Donatelli on the near side, one touch forward for Jagdeo Singh, tries to leave it there, but it's read by Rolko. Here's Gazda. Again, only his 3rd appearance of the year, and Mike, quite the big boy out there.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Rosalind for Banks into the 18. Tries to get around Rolko, and he can't, so it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Riverhounds.
Yeah, but I mean, Justin Evans isn't going to put a guy on the pitch if he's not ready. And the guy's got to be ready at this level. So
he's got an assist in his first 2 appearances.
You know, he's one of the local guys. He's one of the local guys around Pittsburgh, and just you get him on the team. He's there every single day, training, working hard, and let's get him some time in one of the best stadiums in the country.
Here's Gazda, gets a touch on it, 30 yards out, lines up the right-footed shot off the mark. And it'll be a goal kick coming up here for the Rhinos.
All right, fans. We've got some lucky winners.
Setting the ball up there was Neil Schaefer on the touch for Adam Gazda. Playoffs approaching, and the USL Pro season will come to a close early. September 3rd is the championship game. And normally, you get into late September and October. This year, a 24-game regular season. A playoff scenario where it's a single game format. And before you know it, Mike, the season is done.
We played our final, I think it was October 16th. Doug Miller's wedding day.
That's right. So you're looking at almost 2 months.
Might have been the 15th. Now, if Doug's listening, he's gonna be angry with me.
You mean you weren't at the wedding?
We had a final to play.
Of course. Free kick here for Gilstrap as the Rhinos will call for offsides in the 79th minute. Well, the Rhinos have enough to hold up Rich Costanzo's goal in the 63rd minute. Gilstrap sends one into the Rhinos 18. Schaefer just nudged off the ball by Tobin. And it'll be a goal kick here for the Rhinos. Schaefer coming forward, the 22-year-old out of Robert Morris University. So the Hoxie substitution didn't happen as quick as we thought. Jagdio Singh came on. Looks like Kenny Versailles is going to be coming on before Hoxie. That'll be the third change for Bob Lilly. Harada for Tommy Gray on the near side. Cuevas Kirk sprinting, winning this one. And Gray again called for the foul against Cuevas Kirk. Is Jagdio Singh or Versailles getting ready to come in? Throw in for Cuevas Kirk. That's it to Montegalvan. Flunder heads it right into the turf, and Harada will come away with it. Oh, Schaefer. Sievers knocked off the ball. Montegalvan. Now forward. Rosenlund, the JC Banks. Now Rosenlund's got some space to push it forward. Jagdio Singh. Quick one-touch back. Donatelli was looking for it on the near side. But Costanzo has it. Middle of the field. A lot of touches for different Rhino players on this possession. Cost, Kirk. It's in behind Tommy Gray. Kirk gets the opening for the cross, and it goes out of bounds. Up and over behind the goal. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who right now are running out of time to at least put a positive mark on their away record this year. They're 1-8-2 away from home.
And that's what's frustrating for the coaches and the fans sometimes. But I would say particularly the coaches. I mean, you have some nice combination play. You're working the ball, you're getting it in, you're getting it out, you're switching the point of attack, and then that final cross, that final execution that needs to happen isn't happening.
Versailles Mike is going to come on, and he'll replace Tyler Rosenlund, the team MVP. 83rd minute.
Replacing number 8, Tyler Rosenlund. Substitution.
So Tobin, Kissy, or Bellamy, Kissy, and Rosenlund have come off, and Bob Lilly has brought on Tobin, Kissy, or Tobin Jagdio Singh, and Versailles.
And Versailles being one of those holding midfielders for the Rhinos is going to move Cost up. And you're going to have Jagdio Singh and Cost being more of the attack. Cost filling in. I mean, Cost has that work engine ethic as well.
Bob Lilly still speaking with Tyler Rosenlund as their Rhinos break on the near side. Donatelli, not sure where he's going with that service. That was definitely threading the needle, broken up by the Riverhounds. Sievers. Intercepted by JC Banks. Versailles' first touch. Pass is given away off the foot of Schaefer, though, so the Rhinos are lucky to pick up a throw in here. In the 84th minute. Don't forget, we'll be on the air at 7:15 next Friday with the pregame show. 7:30 the playoffs begin in 2011. These same two teams lace them up again, 7:30 at Salem Stadium. Receivers to Harada. They're going to try Tommy Gray on the near side. Flunders pushing forward. Kirk has been very tough on Tommy Gray tonight. Now it's broken up by Jagdeo Singh, tracking back, working hard. Jagdeo Singh and Rolko will work one-on-one on the near side. Kadich comes in to support. Now backs off. It's Harada. And Rolko comes in hard. And it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos deep in the Pittsburgh half of the field. On the near sideline, Donatelli will set up facing a two-man wall in the 85th minute. Donatelli waiting for the go-ahead, gets it. There's the service. And headed away there by Rolko. Actually, they said the Rhinos were the last to touch it, and it'll be a throw-in for the Riverhounds. Throw-in down the far sideline. Cuevas Kirk for Versailles. Kirk, and off of his foot on the touch. Jagdeo Singh fighting with Rolko. Off the foot of Jagdeo Singh, and it'll be a throw-in. This is Schaefer. On the far side. Falls, loses possession. And J.C. Banks will come away with it. Versailles. It's back to Kitson. Takes a look up, drives it downfield. Harada. Looking to that far side. As Lundberg went down on the challenge against Costanzo, the goal scorer. And it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos. Looks like we're going to make it through 90 minutes as the Storm's taking a break. They'll pick up again tomorrow after a 93-minute delay to begin tonight's game. Riverhounds pushing forward. Looking for Gazda, but it's broken up by the Rhinos. Schaefer spinning around, trying to get away from Cost. He can't. It'll be a throw-in for the Riverhounds. Some of the fans in attendance tonight enjoying the suites as the Rhinos have a 1-0 lead in the 88th minute. Roberts hard through that challenge, heads it out of bounds. The Riverhounds pick up about 10 more yards deeper into the Rhinos' half.
And right now you can see the Pittsburgh's pushing. The Rhinos are just trying to hold on to the 1-0 lead. They're sitting back, starting to bunker in, and sometimes goals go in like this.
Schaefer gets the long throw-in. Flick to the top of the 18. Harada and Jagdeo Singh. A left-footed shot there by Kadich as the ball popped out about 25 yards away. He has a go at it.
I was going to say he was a little ambitious there with that shot, but he stroked that with his left foot, and it was dipping. Starting to dip just a little bit too late.
Not too far off the mark.
He may have been better off being 42 yards out instead of 32 yards out.
Enough time to dip down. Kitson had it covered the whole way. There's Versailles, 89th minute.
And although the Pittsburgh Riverhounds gave up that goal, Gilstraps had a relatively very good match tonight, putting a couple over the bar, saving the Pittsburgh Riverhounds a couple times.
Could be a candidate for player of the game. We'll have Mike Kerms' selection following tonight's final whistle. As he's writing his notes, working extremely hard, trying to find out who the player of the game is going to be. There's Costanzo, the goal scorer, the coach's award tonight. And I tell you, Costanzo likes to play against the Riverhounds. On June 17th, he scored a rocket down in Pennsylvania. Had his whole family there supporting him, and tonight he's done it again. So Rich Costanzo, maybe next week it happens again for the Rhinos Coach's Performance Award winner.
And that's a big award. You know that if you're getting the coach's award, you're the guy who's showing up to training every single day, putting in the extra work before training, putting in the extra work after training.
There's Gazda. Lays it off for Tommy Gray. Gets a left-footed cross into the 18, and it's cleared away there by Costanzo. The Riverhounds have 2 minutes of stoppage time to get level here. Schaefer. Back to Kadich. Schaefer with some space on the far side. Looks up. A low cross. Gets under Sievers. And Connor Tobin comes away with it on the near side now. Jagdeo Singh. Squaring up against Rolko. Pushing it to the middle of the box. Well, just outside the 18.
Finally, someone comes to help him. I mean, the Rhinos are just sitting back. They got to continue to play the match and not leave that much of a gap between the back four and the front. I know there's only a minute or less left, but still, you got to help the guy out or you're going to lose possession.
Gazda hits one forward looking for Sievers. Tobin is there first to clear it out of bounds, and the Riverhounds will have a throw-in. We've got 2 minutes of stoppage time. It's going to be Schaefer to take it. His last throw-in wasn't very high or deep. We'll see if he makes a turnaround effort here on this near side throw-in. Stoppage time, 1-0. Rochester leads. Long throw-in coming from the near side. Schaefer gets a deep one into the box. Montegalvan gets the header on it. Flunder from 30 yards away with a right-footed shot. A quiet night for Kitson, but he is there to answer the call.
I've really liked Flunder tonight, and finally he gets a rip. And Kitson comes up big, and that's why you need your goalkeeper for that one big save a match.
This corner kick into the box, headed away by J.C. Banks. Doesn't matter what time the save is coming, you just got to make it, and Kitson does. In stoppage time, after a rocket from Flunder. Gazda, a one-timer out of the air. And that'll do it. The Rhinos will end up with the victory tonight. 1-0 over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Stick around. We'll be back with the post-game wrap. Rochester victorious 1-0 on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.